Well, I can tell it's November, because yeah, it seems like every November the comments just get insanely hostile. I don't know if it's the elections or what, but it seems like about November after the elections, it seems like all that aggression that people have been using on politicians just shifts over to whatever you're working on until we get to Thanksgiving, then everything chills back out. So yeah, I had to take one post down last week. Probably going to take another one down today. And I mean, I don't know. I guess. Well, I don't know. Whew. But yeah, I took two. Somebody asked, "What's up with your channel?" It looks like it's turned into a tourism channel. I actually took two other channels I have down this week. One was kind of giving some tips on, how to get started, kind of bootstrapping, getting started in automation. And the other was a downtime channel where, pretty much was almost what you're seeing here, but kind of helped me learn how to do this. And so, YouTube actually treats comments differently depending on, I guess, your subscriber count. So a lot of times, y'all would be like, hey, I put this comment on and you deleted it right away. And I'm like, well, no, I didn't delete it. I never saw it. So YouTube, and I'll say it's only on this channel, and I guess there is a threshold. They really filter out a lot of the comments and I never see them. And a lot of them get shifted over to a held area where I can just go through and see if they were worth looking at. But on those two channels, anything went. And so, after a while, that just wears you down. So I closed both of those channels, and then I shifted a few things over. I'd walked across the UK, and, there were a couple, just a couple little odd ones. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and dump them over here. So that's why you see, I think I dumped 55 videos on this weekend. It was just so I didn't lose those videos, and I could still share them with people. But yeah, man, that whole Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse, I didn't know that was going to turn into a fiasco. It turned into, I really thought it was it was us in the news, and I wanted to try to, highlight, what we can do to fix it in the news. But one, that turned political really fast, and I was like, man, I don't even know how that turns political really. It was a terrible disaster. But there were a couple things on it. As first, some of y'all, I was saying that, we could, it's the first time I was like, maybe this is a case use for AI with thermal imaging. And so if we were to shoot this trainer and look at its heat signature, in fact, let me grab the camera. But what I was saying was, if you look at this image, then these 1734s, they're the hot spot. But machine learning should be able to identify this as a 1734 and then say, well, they should be roughly this temperature. And then it should be able to identify that these lines are wires and realize, oh, well, they should be roughly that temperature. And when they should be able to adjust it. That way, this isn't really, we'll say, glowing right now, even though it is hot. And then it should be able to compare, whoops, you can't see where I'm at. It should be able to compare the end of the wire to like 3 inches away from the wire. And if there's a temperature difference, that would tell us that there is an issue on a connection terminal. And somehow that totally turned into AI taking jobs. Well, no, I think that's AI helping us improve something that I don't think we can do that well with our eyes. I mean, when you got all those hot spots, it's really hard to see the wire connection that you're looking for. But no, it was just really a random brainstorm. And there was a good conversation going about that. And I woke up the next morning and yeah, it just totally turned south. There's the other one, yeah. If somebody had posted this eye acuity test, you see these things around, just catching if you can find the missing number, which the real easy one's 68. And it says up here, there are 2 numbers missing. If you have been to one of my class or watched many of my videos, you know what the other one is. And again, I really meant that to be just a little bit of weekend humor, but that turned into an argument about whether 0 actually exists. And even, when someone puts their credentials into their comment, I know I'm in trouble. But yeah, had a PhD tell me that 0 is an imaginary number. Now, I it's been a long time since I was in college, but I remember imaginary numbers, and 0 is not an imaginary number. And, So my first point of it, just a humorous point is, if you take 1 and you subtract 1 from it, are you going to tell me the number doesn't exist, or are you going to tell me it is 0? But really, it was just to highlight that in PLCs, hopefully that focuses enough that you can see it. The first number on all your points or anything in your program is 0. But guys, it's Thanksgiving week. Find something to be thankful for, and yeah, let's have a good week.